Hey, Farmington High School. Happy Wednesday. I hope everybody got a lot of work done during yesterday's Flex Learning Day. If you were behind, hopefully you got yourself caught up, or even better, I hope you got yourself ahead. This video coming to you is from my office, which is super exciting. There's nobody in the building today, so it's kind of lonely. So I thought, hey, we'll make a video. Unfortunately, my sidekick, Mr. Pickens, isn't here today, but I got the next best thing. I got Mr. Pickens on a stick. So probably not going to add quite as much as a regular Mr. Pickens would do, but it wouldn't be a Farmington High School informational video without Mr. Pickens. So there's a close-up shot of him, and you can see he's quite excited to be in this video. Now, my role today is just going to introduce the 2017-2018 registration process, which you're going to begin today. Your RAMP teachers are going to take you through PowerPoint slides and some information in terms of what you need to register for, depending on what grade you're in. Within that, though, you're going to have quite a lot of choices. So we want to make sure that as you go through this process, you do a good job registering and selecting your classes, mainly because the information that I'm going to get from you over the next couple of weeks during the open window for registration is what I'm going to build our master schedule on. And this master schedule has got to fit about 2,000 students into it and over 100 teachers. So trying to go back after and switch classes and do some other things becomes problematic. And as a matter of fact, we have some pretty strict criteria on how you can change classes. And if you need to find that stuff, it's in our registration guide. But so the information and the class selections you're going to make now are vital to building a good schedule and ultimately giving you a class schedule that you're going to be happy with. So a couple things. Like I said, choose carefully. Don't just choose classes. You should have a why behind all the classes you choose. Now, some of those classes are ones that are required that we make you take based on state mandates and things like that. So unfortunately, there's not a lot of opportunity for choice there. But those electives, those are all based on interests and passions and ultimately preparing yourself for whatever you're going to do when you leave this building. So hopefully, through your RAMP classes, you've been working on your post-secondary plan and you've started to kind of have an idea of what you're going to do. Are you going to go to a 2-year school? Are you going to go to a 4-year school? Are you going to go to a technical college? You're going into workforce? You're going to do a certificate program? All of those things are great things to do when you leave our building. And your schedule should reflect that. You should know the things you need to do to build the skills you need to be successful when you leave here, and those classes should help you with that. Now, how do you know what you're getting yourself into when you select classes? Read the registration guide. We've gone digital this year. There's a web clip on your iPad that you can click on. That digital registration guide has all the information, has all the course descriptions. There's no reason that you should come to your counselor or administrator next year and say, boy, I'm not quite sure what this class is all about. I just sat here and got the syllabus, and I'm like, oh, this is what I signed up for. You should know what you're getting yourself into. Is there a fee? It's in the registration guide. Do you have to work outside of school? How many hours do you have to work outside of school? Are there other requirements in these classes? You should know that. There's no excuse for you not knowing that other than you didn't read, and that's not going to fly when you try to come and get out of a class. So again, that registration guide has that. Also, when you put your course number into Campus, that registration information and course guide pops up there too. You have 2 places to read it. So we're not going to let you out of a class just because you didn't know what was in it. So make sure you read it. You're responsible for it. When you sign up those classes, we're assuming that you know what you're getting yourself into. The other thing you can do is talk to teachers. If you're not sure what a class is about and it's an English class, talk to your English teacher. You can figure out who teaches those classes. Go and talk to those teachers. If you want to double up on math, talk to your math teacher about when you can do that. Your teachers are great resources. Now, your RAMP teacher may not have all the information, but they can point you in the right direction, as can your counselors and us administrators. So over the next couple weeks, as our registration window is open, it is your job to gather as much information as possible so when you select those classes, you're making good choices. The other thing to do is think about balance. Do we want you to challenge yourself when you're in the building? You bet. What does that mean? You have to think about what that means. A challenge to one person may not be a challenge to another person. Can you take multiple AP classes? Of course you can. We'd love you to do that if it's part of your post-secondary plan, or you think it's going to help you become a better student or prepare you for when you leave this building. But when you select those courses, you also need to think about what things you're involved in outside of school. If you're working 40 hours a week or you're in 15 different activities, you may have to think about how much time you can dedicate to any class outside of school. So make sure you think about balance. You should have a really good conversation with your parents when you take your registration guide home and ask them to sign this. You should be able to tell them why you're taking each of the 15 classes, or 16 or 17 or 18 if you're taking a 0 hour, that you have X's by those. There should be a definitive reason, and you should be able to articulate that to your parents so they know what your plan is. And if they have questions, you should be able to answer those questions. Counselors are going to be available to answer any questions. They'll be in the lunchrooms the next few days. Administrators are good people to ask, but we want you to be very, very, smart about the classes that you choose, because we don't want to have you come back and try to change those classes. It's probably not going to be able to happen, or happen, only under certain circumstances when we come back next year, and gives us the ability to build the best schedule as possible. What, Mr. Pickens on a stick? Yeah, I could show them that. So real quick before you go, another way to get all your information. So if you go home and you're not sure, here is, yep, right there. It's hard to see. There it is. That's my computer. That's the FHS homepage. If you see across the top, it says 2017-18 FHS registration information. That is a live link. So if you're looking for another place to get the information, it's the same as your web clip. You can go there, and that's another place that you can go to get that. A few other things real quick. When you put your courses into Campus, make sure you only put the 15 courses that you want to take, or 16, 17, 18 if you're taking 0 hours. Don't put any of your alternative classes in. And then make sure that you turn in your registration worksheet. If we have to make any changes, those alternate classes that you circled, we go to that to make those changes. Now, every year we have some kids that don't register fully, or don't register at all, or don't turn in their registration worksheets. You know what happens? When it comes time to filling out their schedule, I have to make those decisions. Or even worse yet, I'm going to have Mr. Pickens on a stick fill out those courses, which means we're going to put you into classes that fit into the schedule, and maybe not so much fit into your passions and things like that. So if you want to ensure the best schedule you can get, do a good job now of selecting those courses. And again, if you have any questions, your RAMP teacher can help you a little bit today. Your counselors, other teachers throughout the building, and of course us administrators. We're not big, scary people. Well, at least I'm not. Come and talk to me anytime you want. So your teachers are going to take it over from here. They got some information to give you, and then you're going to have plenty of time today to begin that registration process. You have until February 3rd to get those classes into Campus. After that, we shut that down. And then by February 10th, we need you to get that registration worksheet back to your RAMP teacher. All right, turn it over to you, RAMP teachers. Have a good day, everybody.